95 or 96, I think. And I'm planning to play through the campaign, the original campaign. New campaign is, I know. Try that out.
Please enter your name and select your sheet.
I play as Balbanes, because I'm a fan of Final Fantasy Tactics. Oh, I need to turn the music on. I don't care about
Feed
that.
your peasants to keep them happy and make them multiply. Make weapons and create an army. Conquer thy neighbors.
In future videos, I'll probably just click through that.
Right-click on items for information, left-click to perform actions. Use the slider bar to divide peasants between farming and industry. Clicking on industries on the map switches them on and off. Changes you make in a county do not take place until the following season. Cattle provide food each season, or they can be eaten.
Huh. It's interesting that it didn't read off the rest of this. And actually, I probably could have benefited from this when first playing the game. Pretty sure I just clicked through. I didn't, as a child, I don't think I understood how wheat worked at all. I remember trying to plant it, just not seeing any results immediately and being like, well, I'll just stick with cattle. So I think I'm going to try and play through the way that I sort of learned the game. So we'll try just going with the cattle-heavy strategy here and see how that ends up working out. I mean, I could grow wheat if I purchased some. I didn't start with any wheat. Do that and purchase.
Buy these goods, my lord.
Just in case we don't want to kill off our cows. Trying to get a nice 1,000. It's kind of nice that it accelerates, but for a cost of 1,000, I guess. Kind of nice that it accelerates, but
all your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
so I think I remember reading somewhere that the game recommends keeping your people's happiness around 72. Well, maybe I should explain how the game kind of works. So you need to feed your people every season. I've got 435 people in this county. Because I've got 101 cattle, I get 5 cheese or dairy from the cattle every season, so that'll be able to feed my people. And we'd like to keep it that way. That's the old strategy that I employed. Something that I am going to do a little different is I'm going to let my happiness get really high. But we don't need quite so many people. An extra 21 cows is maybe
Click on
more.
any area for details about it. Click and drag a box around any peasants you wish to move. Then click on the task area you wish to allocate them to. Blackened figures indicate that there are not enough workers to meet optimal production in that task area. Idle peasants appear in an area if you allocate more than enough labor for the task.
Alright, so we want to not get too many cows, but we can sell any kind of extra ones that we end up with. So if we have some production, that's not too bad. Actually, something that we should probably consider doing is building a castle. But like it was saying, we're going to get different resources if we place our peasants different places. So here we're going to get some lumber or wood. These guys make iron, which we need for making most types of weapons, but not bows. I guess the arrowheads don't count. But something that I would like to do is upgrade my castle to a bigger castle, because that will increase tax revenues. So this is kind of a thing where you can check all of your inventory. So this is what we've started with. If we want to upgrade our castle, we're going to need either more stone or more lumber. We might need more lumber regardless. And then, right, so to get a new castle.
Building a castle makes it much harder for enemy troops to conquer your county. Start with a simple castle design, then upgrade as your materials and builders increase. You may produce castle building materials, stone and wood, in your county or buy them from a merchant. When you give orders to build a castle, some of your laborers in industry will move to castle building until the castle is finished. If your castle suffers damage from a siege, you may repair it as long as you have the materials and the builders.
So if we want to build
A motte and bailey.
Motte and bailey here, just a little bit. If we want to build a motte and bailey, then we're going to need 400 wood, but we've only got 50 right now, so we can start doing that. But you can see down here that if we build a larger castle, not only will we be more defended, but we'll have a bonus to our tax revenues. Right now we don't have enough wood, so I'm not going to bother starting the castle just yet. And especially in my early days, I really focused on getting a lot of lumber and just a little bit of iron because I liked to make pikemen, which is...
To build a weapon, you must produce or buy the necessary amounts of iron and or wood.
So you can select the different weapons here. Pikes were kind of my old favorite along with bows, which bows require 13 wood. Pikes require 6 wood and 3 iron. So if we produce a lot of... I don't know why there wasn't an exit thing there. If we produce a lot of wood, we should be able to build a lot of weapons in the future. So I want to focus on upgrading my castle first, and then we can worry about troops a little after that. So let's keep it at +8. I think
all your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
Keep our dairy production outpacing our population for the time being. All right, and I like it when everything looks green because that means we're getting stuff. I'm not gonna charge any taxes right now because I want to increase my people's happiness. If we were to increase the tax revenues, we would decrease the amount of happiness we would get. At 5, it's even, but if you go to higher than that, it starts making your people unhappy, which I'd like to avoid. Part of my plan with this is if our tax revenue is low right now, when we have a low population, we can kind of monopolize on tax production when we have a higher population, and maybe we build that later form of the castle, because we should be able to get our population up into the thousands, or at least over 1,000. We'll see exactly how high we can get it. So, ending the turn. Now our happiness has gone up. Things are still looking pretty good.
All your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
I think we'll still be all right. Something I am going to switch though.
All your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
If our dairy were insufficient to feed our population, it's got this slider as far as what we eat when dairy is scarce. So right now the fork is over here by the cattle, so we could actually start eating our cows, which would then lead to less dairy, which would lead to eating more cows, which I'm trying to avoid, which is why I purchased the grain. So maybe I'll leave it over here so we can maybe get a sense of what that looks like for now. But if I ever notice our cattle production going way down, maybe I'll come back in here and be like, oh look, it's because we're eating the cows. Alright, so things look good though, so let's end the turn again. Things are still looking good. We don't have enough wood to start the wooden palisade yet. But we are eating a cow already, so this isn't so bad. We're still getting more cattle, so I'm just going to leave it alone actually. And then next season, which will be the autumn, I maybe should have mentioned that earlier, we'll be able to start our castle. So we can also take a little look at what our opponent's doing here. They seem to also be going with a cattle-heavy strategy, which I think is why I used it. You can kind of learn from your opponents. These two counties up here are not controlled by a lord. So if we were to march some troops up here, we could gain control of them. And while our town has an iron mine over here, this county has a quarry. So, and you can right click on these? Yeah. So, so we can see that if we were to conquer this town, then we could produce stone, which would allow us to produce other types of castles. So anyway, let's end the turn. So now that we're in the 90s, we could consider increasing the taxes, but I'm kind of hoping to get immigrants from the adjacent counties, because if your happiness is too low, your people start fleeing your county. But if your happiness is high, people will flee to your county. So
Your people are in good health, my
it
lord.
looks like nobody's sad enough to flee to our county just yet, or maybe our people aren't enough happier. But things are still looking good, and I think I said that we could start building our castle. So let's do that. So build our Mott and Bailey. Sorry, we already had the wooden palisade.
A Mott and Bailey.
So it gives you an idea of how long it'll take to build, depending on your population. So if we threw all of our population in, we've got more than 400 people, so we could build it in one season if we really had to. And then it also tells you how many troops your castle can hold. So let's start construction. Oh, I thought it had a video when it did that. Huh. Anyway, so we're still eating some cows, but we're still getting a healthy, growing cattle population, so maybe we should just keep it like that, or maybe we should add a little more to try to prevent this from going up too much. Alrighty. Let's end the turn, and then next season we can start taxing our people, because 100 is the highest that our happiness can go, so we may as well increase it to where we're not losing happiness, but maintaining things. So you might think that this is what we want, 5%. Based on what I said before.
All your people
but
are fed
as
by
long as we're
dairy,
feeding
my
our people
lord.
well and they're healthy, then we actually get some happiness from that. So let's crank it up to 7. All right, and plus 27 cattle. That's an awful lot.
All your people
and we're
are
not
fed
eating
by
any
dairy, my lord.
right now. So let's reassign some of those people to other tasks to keep them from. Yeah, that looks good. All right. And then once our castle's built, then we can start building weapons so that we can raise an army.
All your people are fed by dairy, my
Good.
lord.
Five cattle being eaten is maybe not so great. Let's try to increase that cattle population a little bit. And our castle's almost done. We can see that progress has been made on it. And so now...
A castle has been finished in the county and is ready to receive a garrison.
and so you get free troops when you upgrade your castle, or at least some castle upgrades. The next castle upgrade actually wouldn't give free troops, but free troops is, pretty nice. I like that a lot. Sometimes I'll actually use those troops to attack a neighbor. So if we right-click
A
on
Mott
here,
and Bailey.
see our castle, we can view the troops inside, and then if we were to press this button, they would leave the castle, and then we could use them to attack. But they're only 100 archers, so they probably wouldn't be strong enough to take over this town independently. And you can kind of get an idea of the size of the town based on the diagram here. Previously, you may have noticed that it was just kind of a bare field, but their town looks like ours. So they've probably got 800-some people in there. Not all of them would fight to protect their town, but we can see that our town is more prosperous and has a larger population than this other town. Although both of our cattle populations are pretty big. All right, so we finished our castle. We've got some iron, we've got some wood. We can start building.
All your
Quaintville.
people are fed
We're
by
doing
dairy, my lord.
okay on our cattle population, so let's make sure we're still doing okay. And let's build some pikes so we can assign some of our workers to here. And then that'll consume some iron and some wood. So it'll consume 36 wood and 18 iron. So if we throw another guy in here, we might be able to produce twice as many. And still have a net surplus of resources, which I just kind of prefer to have a bit of a stockpile of resources. So this will be good, and we can start building up our weapon supply.
All your
This is
people
longer.
are fed
Yeah,
by
we're still
dairy, my
okay
lord.
on that, so.
Your people are in good
So we are
health, my
getting
lord.
some immigrants, but not a ton. But we're also getting quite a bit in taxes, so we can spend that on mercenaries if mercenaries ever show up, which is, I kind of prefer to use mercenaries where I can, at least to bolster my army. Actually, maybe we should be. There's a lot of mercenaries are pikemen, so maybe we should actually be focusing on bows. And if you don't want to go into the town, you can click on here and switch things that way. Although I'm going to want to go in anyway so that I can make sure that we are building enough. Actually we are. That's kind of surprising to me. We're producing enough wood to build our bows. So maybe we should throw this guy in here. How are we doing?
All your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
Alright. Let's keep this going.
The long spell of hot weather in the county is causing fires. You have just lost a field.
So this is pretty annoying. I always hated this because now we can't allow our cattle to graze there. But we do have some mercenaries here, so let's check that
Use
out.
the slider bar to draft peasants from the population into the army. Don't draft too much of your population, or happiness will drop too low. Choose units by clicking on the appropriate weapon on the wall. You can only raise the types of units you have weapons for. When your army is ready, click the Create button. Your army appears on the main map when you return to it.
So the Scottish pikemen are one of the types that I was talking about. So we can hire them for this much. We have this much, so we could do it, and they're going to charge us every season. We don't really have enough other weapons, I think, for us to be successful yet, and I think it's likely we'll have more mercenaries show up later. So like, there's also another one that's 200 Irish pikemen, and I would prefer to have that because mercenaries apparently don't like each other. You can only have one band of mercenaries in an army. So I think we're actually going to wait on this and focus on getting more bows in the interim. So still doing okay on that. Eating some cattle, but not a ton. So I think we're okay since we're getting a bunch of cattle too. So let's end return. And so now that our field is less toasty, we can start to reclaim it. So we can do that by clicking on this, and that'll reassign some of our cattle farmers here, and it'll show us how long it takes to reclaim the field. So if we really focus, we should be able to get it back in 1 year. But we want to keep our cattle population growing to match our human population. And at this point, we're maybe not growing our cattle population fast enough. But for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to switch to grain just yet. And let's see what happens. Okay. The winter, I don't know why the winter gives so many more cattle than other seasons. I guess the idea is like you have them in barns and they're living the easy life or something. Not entirely sure. Maybe we can throw one more of these guys in here. Oh, that was kind of a lot, so let's throw this guy back in. When you have your peasants, each one of them, represents basically the same number of people. So we've got 48 here. We should have, just short of like 240 here. Okay, a bit more short than I was thinking. So most of them are roughly an equal number here. So here we got 48 again. But I think there's always one that's like half as many. I thought I threw him in the cattle farming, but either way. So roughly, an even portion of your total population. So we could buy weapons. So let's actually investigate that. If we
Buy these goods,
bows,
my lord.
we could get 200 bows roughly. That well, the thing is, like, pikes are relatively cheap because they're
Buy
lower
these goods,
resource
my
costs.
lord.
They're 26 per thing.
Buy these
Bows
goods,
are,
my
well,
lord.
bows are 32. Actually, for the resource cost, maybe bows are better because they require 13 resources, while pikes only require 9. But then you got the labor, so I mean, we could maybe do some analysis, but I don't know that it's that important. Or we could just wait a little bit because we don't have any mercenaries to hire yet. So let's do that. Maybe once the field's reclaimed, that might be a good time to build it up. How are we doing on? Yeah, so now we're eating 9 cattle, so our cattle production is waning here a little bit. So I'm going to switch to eating some grain, and then we get a lot more cattle, so that's good. Maybe we can remove one of these guys. Nope, we'll be running out of wood then. Alright, let's wait another... well, actually, so if we're going to build an army, armies, maybe contrary to what you would expect, they don't eat anything. So let's go ahead and do that. And allow one of our cattle to be eaten. Or more than one, I guess. Oh, no, just one, right? Resource switch to grain, so let's end the turn here.
The long spell of hot weather in the county is causing fires. You have just lost a field.
But now we've got this new field back. Do that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to raise an army. We're going to want some more bows, I think. And we want to have enough money to hire the pikemen that show up. So we're going to try to save...
Buy these goods, my lord.
Save a few thousand. I think it's 3,000 for the Irish pikemen. So I guess we can spend up to 5,000 here. Well, actually, let's do that. Alright, so now we've got a bunch of bows, and we can build an army. So, if we scroll this along here, you can see that the happiness goes down. It goes down less at the beginning and more later. So, it goes down by 1, it goes down by none. So it takes 2 clicks until we get to 91, I think, and then 90, and then it goes a lot faster after that point. So I usually try to build my army up a little on the slower side. So, and actually we're really just aiming to build archers here. So we reduce it to, let's just do 269, and then we can have some sacrificial peasants who don't have any specific weapons. Or we could include the swordsmen. I just like to keep things a little balanced here. So we've got 287. 287 isn't a number that we can have, so let's just go with this and have some sacrificial peasants. So if you don't assign weapons to them, they'll just be peasants. Actually, if I click on here, does it do it? See, I always clicked on down here. But either way, so my little thing's in the way. So if we hit this, we can build our 262 archers, so let's do that. And let's click on here just to get our little archer guy to play the animation of just going through. I'm not going to bother building 7 pikemen because I like to have relatively large units of the same type. So let's create our army. So now we've got our army, and our army can do things. Because they don't eat, we're
all your people
now
are fed by dairy,
we're not
my lord.
consuming too much food. Which is a strategy.
After raising an army, move it toward a neighboring county. To move an army, click once on it, then click on a destination. The army marches toward the destination until it runs out of moves for the turn. Right-clicking on an army calls up its vital statistics.
Alright, so we can have our army move out here. Like I was saying before, this army might not do so well against this town by itself. If we add some mercenaries to it, I think we'll be in a much better position to succeed. We don't need to be making quite so many cattle right now because but we don't want to have them die, so let's leave it like that. wood. Now that our happiness is down a little bit, I'm going to reduce taxes somewhat to make the people happy. Our army does...
This is one of your armies.
Require taxes. Doesn't show it there. I thought it showed it in there, but I guess I just misremembered it. It will show it in here. So we got to pay our army, and then, but we're making well enough money to support that army. I guess maybe that's sort of how they're getting their food. All right, so let's end the turn. Start reclaiming our field.
All your people are fed by dairy,
we
my
don't really
lord.
want to be increasing our cattle population too much here. So we can keep making some bows. So that marching noise is, I think they've built an army. So they're going to try and take over this town. I don't know. So the army size, you can see our guy only has one little dude.
This
Once
is one
your
of
army
your
reaches
armies.
300 people, I believe, it becomes a two-person figure. And then if your army reaches, I think, 600 people, then it becomes a three-person figure. So their army, who knows how big it is, but probably between 3 and 6, should be between 3 and 600 people. So we'll see if they conquer it. This town looks pretty formidable, so maybe they won't conquer it. But we'll see, and we'll just kind of mind our own business for now. Actually, if they just built an army, that may have
Your
made their
people are in good health,
unhappy.
my lord.
So let's try to get our happiness up a little faster, so we can maybe persuade some of them to join our county instead of the.
All your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
So we can also communicate with our rival. He's our only rival here, so there's not much good feeling, or there shouldn't be. So let's send him an insult. So this is the default. I'm just going to leave it because it doesn't really matter what you say. There is multiplayer, I guess, but I've never played it. So let's just dispatch this. Alright, and let's try to keep our cows from all dying. Just because I'd like to have little cows.
You must learn respect for your superiors. I relish the day when I cut your tongue from your head.
I think his reply was a lot meaner than my insult, but, you know.
Your people are in good health, my
But we
lord.
did get some immigrants, so maybe we are stealing some of his people in a sense. And this is, you know, not a strategy that I really used early on. I really did keep my happiness a lot lower when I used to play when I was a kid. So we've got some mercenaries here, reflected by this
A
icon.
band of Moorish
darn, they're
mercenaries
archers.
is available for hire, my
But we
lord.
already have archers, so let's just wait on that, I guess. And it looks like they ultimately failed in their attempts to invade, although now they're sending an army after me, maybe? Actually, that maybe was a good strategy, because I think my army will be able to handle theirs probably without too much issue, because the enemies really aren't terribly smart at the start here, or in the early levels. Looks like our population's kind of caught up to our cows here. I think he is attacking me. Maybe that was a really good plan, who knows. Alright, still doing okay on this kind of stuff. I think we probably have a lot of wood. Yeah, we've got quite a bit. So maybe I should crank everything. Still would like to have a bit of a surplus. Yeah, so that's fine. So we can. Okay, that wasn't worth it. I guess we'll do that. Yeah, I think. Or maybe he's trying to take over this town. That seems silly. We can't reach him, so he can't reach us. Let's actually 25. We don't need 25 cows. Really, archers are kind of all you need in some of the earlier levels, from what I recall.
Your people are unfortunate to be ruled by you. When I take your lands, they will finally know greatness.
So these little hamlets also kind of indicate how large the population of your, how large your town is. So this one just popped up if you noticed that a little while ago. So we've got 3 hamlets. So I think it's maybe for, well, I'm not sure exactly, but they've only got none. Yeah, so there. This one has 2. This one also has 2. So I think our town is the largest of all of these are. County of Periwinkle. All right.
All your people are fed by
all
dairy,
fed
my
by dairy,
lord.
which is what we like to see. People are fed by dairy, my lord. Keep it like that. I think we're losing a little bit of our wood supply, but that's okay. Debating whether I should add some archers to my army. Well, you know what?
Amok and Bailey.
Let's go ahead and have these guys leave the castle here and
Combine these
our
armies.
together. So now we've got over.
This is
300
one of
people,
your armies.
and we've got a lot of archers. So whatever this is, as long as this isn't some super heavily armored people, our archers should just be able to mow them down. So I think we're in good shape. Okay, so we've got 43 peasants and we've got 362 archers. So we outnumber them by about 9 to 1. And we don't probably need to take the field, but let's do it to demonstrate. So our guys are in the little mini map down here. Our guys are in the red. We got a bunch of archers and this one band of peasants. This guy representing some peasants. Is the knight gray? Oh, I can't see because of the thing. Yeah, they're yellow. So they've got this band of peasants up here. None of them are full strength, while our archers mostly are. So we can try to take a defensive position. The AI players aren't terribly smart. They do some smart things, but on the whole, they don't. They take like defensive positions, but I think that because of our numerical advantage, the AI is going to try to take a defensive position with these peasants, so we can probably just wait to see where they move. But all the same, I'm going to try to keep my archers together.
Wait, this time.
Firepower.
All right.
Yes, they're taking this defensive position, which is really not a very good plan for them since they don't have a way to attack from a distance while I do. So sometimes what I liked to do was kind of lure them out with one archer and then have the rest of my archers just annihilate them. What I think we're going to do here, since I don't actually want this peasant in my army, I'm going to have him
Okay, my lord.
over there. And
ready. Archers, pull. Of course, sir.
And they don't move around super well for the most part. They kind of get stuck on stuff, so you need to micromanage them a little bit. But our peasants over there, we're going to use our peasant as a
your
shield,
service.
like all good peasants.
All right. Okay, my lord.
So he might die. I think most of our archers should live, though.
At your service.
We get them over here, where hopefully they'll be in range to start shooting these enemy peasants. Yeah, so we started to attack them. They're attacking us. Our peasant gets attacked, but maybe didn't even lose any. Yeah, so we didn't lose any people. They lost all of theirs.
Nobody is stupid enough to violate my borders. I assume your recent actions have been an accident, and I'll let you off with a warning this time.
We didn't violate his borders, so I don't know what he's talking about. But now his opinion of us is very low, which it should be. Well, I mean, it should be a high opinion, but a lot of enmity, I guess. So we've got some weapons. Let's actually start building some pikes again. I would like something.
This is one of your armies.
Archers here.
All your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
Okay. So we need more people to take care of our cattle, which I guess we should do. Or we could build our army now, or we could just say, well, the cattle are going to die, and the cattle are going to die, and we're going to need to build up our army in a little bit. So something else we could do is we could say, well, let's just do a blitzkrieg on the weapon production here. Now that we've got some resources stockpiled. And then next season we can build up our army, so that'll give us 200 pikemen, which is a pretty good number. So let's do that. So it also, your cows become more clustered when they're, when they don't have enough space to graze. So if there's 2 cattle, that seems to usually have a fairly high rate of growth, whereas if they're clustered, they don't do as well. The more fields you have with cows, the more spread out they can be. So now, let's go back to building up some resources. Having a field back is kind of nice. I think it's like 30 cows per field before you get to 3 cows. So let's see, we've got 12. Wait, no. 14. I can do math. 16. So we've got 16 fields. So 16 times 20 would be 3. Or yes, 16 times 20 would be 320. So I think it's when we go over 320 that we start having 3 cows appear in all of them. So we'll probably see a large reduction in our cattle population per turn if we go over 320. I said we were going to build an army, so I guess we should do that. Oh, and this works out pretty well. If we go a little higher, well, that'll give us some sacrificial peasants again. So let's keep it at 299. And we can build our full 200 pikemen. And the rest can be archers. Alright, and this will be maybe a strong enough army for us to just completely...
Combine these armies.
Sometimes it misses. I'm not sure how that happens exactly. And let's actually build some archers just in the maybe somewhat unlikely case that the knight is able to get an army over here. Then we can throw our archers in the castle just before he's able to lay siege to it. We've got no more movement for these guys, so let's end our turn. Might just be attacking me again, I don't know.
The presence of your men-at-arms in our country is unacceptable. Remove your troops now or face the consequences.
So what these guys say when you enter their county kind of reflects how strong the county is or how much stronger or weaker your army is. So I think this one's kind of neutral. So
To try to conquer a county, attack it by moving your army on top of the town center.
So I think that they actually have a fairly good population.
This is one of your armies.
When you attack counties, a lot of the time, the armies are mostly peasants. Maybe all of the time. So I think that since our guys are all armed, I think we'll be in a much better position. And like I mentioned before, since we've got over 600 people,
This is one of your
we've got
armies.
three figures in our army icon on the map. Let's try to keep our cattle alive. And can we get up to 260? Alright, so we're at 268, so we're making some bows. guy's going to go directly for our town or for our other army, but I don't think we need to be too worried about him. Alright, let's take over this town. So we've got quite a bit larger army than theirs, and theirs are mostly peasants, but we probably won't be able to get away completely unscathed like before, partially because they have archers, partially because our archers won't do a terribly good job against their pikemen, because pikemen are heavily armored. So they're going to try to take a defensive position, and we're going to do the same. So I like to select people so we can kind of quickly assign them. Pause. Of our melee units kind of in the way.
We are ready.
Let's throw our peasant out front because we hate them.
All right, okay, my lord. New orders.
There's a maximum number of
pikemen ready.
Maximum number of units you can have in an army. I think it's 1,500.
Archers, ho! At your service. Archers, ho!
But like I was saying, they kind of just decided to take a defensive position anyhow. So what we're gonna do now? They're completely immobile. This is kind of what I was saying about the AI not being like.
Of course, sir.
Super.
Where to this time? All right.
Super smart or capable.
We are ready.
But it,
Quick march. Owen ready.
I kind of like.
Of course, sir.
Destroying the AI during these anyways.
Archers, ho! New orders, sir.
Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to send our melee units in. Hopefully our melee units will engage with most of their archers. I'm actually going to spread my guys out and try to keep them from flanking us and attacking our archers.
Sir!
And then we're going to send our guys in. And probably pause quickly.
We are ready!
We're just going to let our...
Pikemen, forward!
Let our peasant die because peasants are as they're not heavily armored. They move quite a bit slower than
come on, lad!
So our peasant's gonna probably die really quick here. And we're gonna get our archers into this area.
Archers, ho! Pikemen, ready!
Keep our pikemen between our archers and melee units.
Pikemen, forward! Pikemen, forward! Come on, lad!
Definitely should have had my archers a little closer. So we didn't lose any archers, which was good, but we did lose some of our pikemen, which is expected. They were on the front lines and whatnot. And we've conquered a new county.
Bravo! The county has fallen to our troops. You have made an excellent start in your attempt to become the king.
Alright, so now we've got a new county, which requires... Now we, have twice as much managing to do. Oh, and actually, it seems I was mistaken. It looks like it's 325. So I'm not sure exactly where it switches over to 3 cows per field.
All your people are fed by dairy, my
this
lord.
mostly on autopilot. And just... Oh, I forgot to lower their taxes. And we can start dealing with this group. So we killed a bunch of their people, so their
All your
population
people
kind of
are
low.
fed
Got
by
a lot
dairy,
of
my lord.
excess dairy here. So we're just gonna get some stone so they can build a little bit of a castle and defend themselves. Lower their taxes a bunch because there aren't very... There's a super
All your
strong
people
population
are fed
anyway.
by dairy, my lord.
And we'll allow them to... Looks like he's going to try to mess with us, so let's get over there. And
All your
actually,
people
since
are
we've
fed
got a
by
surplus
dairy,
of
my
cows,
lord.
let's go ahead and sell some. We could increase the rations to try to increase our people's happiness, because feeding people more makes them happy. That's
All your
something,
people are fed by dairy, my
I feel
lord.
pretty confident about. We could probably sell a bit more. So let's sell another 40 head of cattle. And hopefully that won't be too much. Alright, now we've got a lot
All
of
your people
cattle
are fed by dairy, my
population
lord.
growth. Let's buy some grain like we did before.
Buy these goods, my lord.
Just in case we run out, we start eating our cattle, which we'd like to avoid.
All your people
And
are
we're
fed
already
by
on
dairy,
the
my
grain,
lord.
so that's good. And we can start building a castle. I kind of want to see the animation, so let's select.
A wooden palisade.
I don't know why it didn't show the animation. There should be an animation when you do that. Kind of shows you what the castle looks like. So the music kind of changes as you go through. And we don't really want that many cows to be born, I don't think. Let's try to keep it 18. Wherever the change is most dramatic, that's where we'll stop. So 1 or 2 cows, I think we're better off producing some stone and maybe some wood. Okay, let's stop there. And that looks pretty good. Alright.
I am a powerful warrior.
Well, we've got a bunch of... I'll just attack with my army. Didn't even bother engaging, and once again...
I've had just about enough of you. Just one more attack, and that's it. You'll get it.
Alright, so... he's threatening us, so we're up to... Yeah, I don't know what the cutoff is exactly. Maybe it's 21. I guess maybe it's 21. We sell a cow to find out. Yeah, so we're doing okay.
All your people are fed by dairy, my lord. All your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
Actually, let's reduce our taxes by 1, so we'll get up to taxes of 100. Hopefully.
All your people are fed by dairy,
And,
my lord.
we really should just mow down our enemies here. Let's go ahead and buy some weapons.
Buy these goods, my lord.
So if you build an army too quickly, after you've already built an army, your people will become unhappy faster. So, oh, actually, I guess we're doing okay. Well, let's see here. I guess we're doing okay. All right, so we've given them some time to recuperate, I guess. Let's build some archers and some more pikemen.
You do not have enough crowns to pay all of your soldiers. Be warned, your men will not tolerate this situation for long. A castle has been finished in the county and is ready to receive a garrison.
Well, that was a little careless of me, so we do need to raise taxes a little bit. I guess that is something we should have watched out for. Our people are healthy and our counties are strong, so let's go ahead and raise our taxes just a little bit here. And let's go ahead and...
Amott and Bailey.
There should be an animation in here that kind of shows the thing, but I guess we don't have that in this version.
Combine these armies. This is one of your armies. A band of Scottish mercenaries is available for hire, my lord. A castle has been finished in the county and...
So now he's got a bunch of different types of units. Crossbowmen are kind of my least favorite to go against because they can actually deal pretty heavy damage to pikemen and other heavily armored units. Swordsmen really are pretty similar to pikemen. Knights are like really fast swordsmen. And macemen are kind of like really fast, hard-hitting peasants. I really like having macemen in my army, so that I didn't use that strategy early on, so I'm trying to avoid it for now. And archers. We'll probably take a defensive.
We are ready! Of course, sir!
Oh, they're rushing from the water, so I'm gonna cluster in this area.
New orders, sir!
Which actually works to our advantage because we can just put our archers
ready.
on the other side of the water and just rain
your
them
service.
down.
Archers, ho! Pikemen, ready! Of course, sir!
There.
Bowmen ready!
And
Of course, sir!
archers trying to stay as far back as we can until we notice their archers
Archers,
start
ho!
shooting us. Start shooting our pikemen ideally.
Of course, sir!
But not too many. They lost a lot more.
An enormous army is amassing beneath my window right now. I cannot be held responsible for what I do to you when I find you.
And
Amott and Bailey.
let's split this army.
Split this army.
Just because I feel like all of my castles should have some troops in them, so let's split it in half. And have this one go back. Got some weapons. I don't like to have unarmed peasants in my army, so let's, yeah, so if we build an army at all, they're happy gonna go way down, so let's just leave them be. Increase our taxes to 7, so they're actually
All your people
perfect
are
health
fed
right
by
now,
dairy,
so we could
my
go up to
lord.
8, but I don't feel like perfect is a very sustainable level of health, so we're just gonna leave it be. And yeah,
All your people are fed by dairy,
we'll
my
actually
lord.
be gonna need to be building an army or something to keep our population from starving.
All your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
Maybe next season. And we could attack this county, but I think we should just end the scenario. So
We have had no notification of your army's passage into our country. Please ensure that your men pass swiftly through, as their presence here disturbs the people.
And this basically means that your army is way stronger than their standing militia or what have you, so we could easily take them over, but I don't think we need to worry about it. We can just move right right on here and lay siege to the enemy castle. Right. And so our economies are doing okay. So let's go ahead and return.
Heavy rains turn into a deluge, and a field is lost as swelling rivers burst their banks.
They've thrown this little guy in our way. Let's actually try and go around him. We'll probably come back and try to attack him. So you can actually kind of destroy the hamlets and industry and stuff, but the enemy doesn't do that to you in the campaign. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. And I hate it. I lose fields.
All your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
Leave it. Doesn't really matter. This doesn't really matter either, but
All your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
this is something that I never really observed when I used to play the game. I think that they've added it in at some point for this version that I got from Steam. So mostly it seems kind of like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, I don't think the original game had that. Or maybe there was a revision of the game or something. So it's reclaiming the steel, maybe.
Siege this castle?
They're gonna do with this guy, so I'm actually gonna wait to lay siege a little bit, because I'd kind of like to play as a defender for one of like this map.
Garrison this castle?
Alright, so we got our guys in their castles. So you can't actually build.
Your captains advise that it is impractical to create an army of less than 50 men.
Kind of arbitrary. So I'm going to create some more archers to throw in.
Garrison this castle?
Same sort of thing over here. Build some pikemen. Or maybe not build, I guess, technically.
Garrison
Train.
this castle?
Arm.
You are a coward and a weakling. Invading you will be a pleasure.
See, I'm kind of toying with it right now. So we have this army over here. But actually, since we don't want to, maybe I'll demonstrate how you can just ruin their economy. So
Destroy these crops.
take away their fields and whatnot. Which I would really hate if the enemy did that to me, so. But I just want them to lay siege to me and... Oh, where is he going for my industries? That'd be interesting.
A band of Moorish mercenaries
So I
is
do like
available
to
for
use
hire, my lord.
mercenaries to attack enemy invading troops and stuff as well.
Destroy these crops. Destroy these crops.
This would just wreck the economy, losing like half your fields. I wonder if he's going to do that if he's just going to attack the capital. Oh, wow! It's getting mean.
Siege this castle.
Let's see if he attacks or if he just destroys more rocks. Oh, wow. Maybe it's like a retribution kind of thing.
The long spell of hot weather in the county is...
Alright, so I don't think... Well, we might want to go into this battle. The auto-calculation, as far as, allowing my generals or whatever to take the field doesn't always work out so well. So, let's go ahead and take the field. Oh. Oh. Right. So I'm up here, they're down there. I don't know why it's not a castle.
New orders, sir. Of course, sir.
Probably gonna try to defend their bridge. Oh no, they're not.
At your service. Archers, ho! Pikemen, ready. Of course, sir. Quick march. Of course, sir. Double! Of course, sir! Quick march! Roman ready? Of course, sir! Sir! Pikemen, forward! Go on, lad! Pikemen, forward! Go on, lad! Pikemen, forward!
Oh, I see. They just attacked my my army with an army they had just raised. Okay, that's what happened. Now the siege is commencing. Like I was saying before, because I was confused. I don't really trust my generals with sieges for the most part. It seems like the game just assumes castles are a little better than they really are. So we're going to take the lead. So this is their castle. They've got some boiling oil. They've got their archers, which, why do they need melee as long as I can't get through? I've got a couple battering rams, which can try to break down the main door. I've got catapults, which can level the walls. And I've got siege towers, which allow my guys to just enter in without destroying the castle. So I'm going to just obliterate their castle, I think. So I'm going to have these catapults go over here. We're going to have these catapults go over there. We're going to have the siege towers go to the back. These siege towers go to the back as well. We're going to have a battering ram
This county all but seals your conquest. One more county, and the crown is yours. Garrison this castle? This castle does not have the capacity to barrack this amount of troops. Split this army.
And so, yeah, it says they need wood to repair their castle. I'm not entirely sure that that's true. So this shows you how long it'll be until you reclaim, reclaim at least one field. So you can see there's a bunch in need. It won't tell you how far along the other fields are, so you can't get it to where you're recovering multiple fields all at the same time.
All your people are fed by dairy, my lord.
Population's down, so that's kind of good, I guess. Now, I wonder if he's just going to keep destroying things, or whether he'll actually try to attack the castle. If he doesn't try to attack it, they need to attack him to end this area. So we're actually kind of running out of food here. Which is such a big deal. We're doing okay. Just keep going for the crops. Let's go ahead and raise an army just with everybody. With all the weapons. Which isn't very compared to the size of the army. Okay, so these people will not be happy for long, but they don't
All
need to
your
be happy
people
for
are
long.
fed
They
by
just
dairy,
need
my
to
lord.
kill this guy. And we can double our rations to increase their happiness a little faster. There's only 48 guys anyway. I don't know how they got away with creating a 48-person army, but there you go. Let's not take the field.
Oh, no, no. No! I'm ruined! I did everything right! My advisors failed me. My generals failed me. It's all...
Alright, so now we've got a new map and a new challenge. I'm just gonna save though and then call it a day, I think. So I started another game where I said, oh, okay, well, beat the first one, beat the second one. But you can see now that we'll have 2 enemies in the new scenario. Yeah, I guess I'll just call it 2 for... Oh, no, it doesn't fit. I guess it's fine. Alright.
Saving game. Please wait.
Alright, well, until next time.